Before we start today's video, make sure to subscribe here at Radial Reviews to never miss an upload. Also, turn on notifications to make sure you get any and all of my scheduled premieres coming right to your recommended page. Alright, let's start this review. Hello and welcome. Welcome to this review of a 2019 BMW M5 Sedan. This is powered by a 4.4-liter Biturbo V8, producing 600 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. This is mated with an 8-speed, shiftable automatic Shiftronic transmission. This car is capable of reaching 0 to 60 in about 3.1 seconds. Although you probably do not care, considering this is an M car, the MPG here is 15 mpg city and 21 on the highway. This current vehicle has about 37,000 miles and is currently for sale at BMW of Newport in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. Thank you to them for allowing me to review this vehicle, and your link is down in the description below. Alright, so, for the looks of this car, this thing looks awesome. It's an M car, of course it's going to look great. So, this M5 is the mid-size car in the lineup of BMW's sedans. The M2 is the smaller one, the M5 is this, and then there are a couple others, including an M7 and an M8. This car is finished in black sapphire metallic. As tested, this car is currently stickering for $89,000. This M5 Competition rides on some 20-inch wheels, and those are two-tone gloss aluminum and black gloss wheels. And there are 275 tires on this all around. There are also ventilated and drilled rotors all around on this car, including the 6-piston front brakes, which are massive, and then single piston in the rear. Up front in the M5, there is a functional air vent towards the bottom corners on each side. Those are actually where the radiators are located in this BMW and many others. There is also an entirely carbon fiber roof in this, which is very, very cool to see. However, there is no sunroof because of this, but it does replace it on the inside with an Alcantara liner. There is also a carbon fiber lip spoiler in the rear of this, as well as a carbon fiber diffuser on the rear. So those both look great, and the diffuser has some great looking fins, so it adds some really nice aggressive styling to this already well-styled car. There's also a quad tip dual exhaust system in this vehicle. And let's do a startup and rev of this vehicle. This M5 is not a sports or track car necessarily, it's a mix of the two. So it's basically a 5 Series, which is, you know, it's a luxury, sporty family hauler. BMW certainly doesn't make any slow cars, even their lowest end vehicles are usually on the quick side. And, you know, they're tuned to be sporty, but this is not particularly a track car. The BMW M2 Competition is more in that range. However, this M5 certainly has massive power and massive potential. This is a very, very capable car as purely a sports car. On the interior of this M5, you are greeted with some very, very comfortable, yet insanely sporty looking and equipped front seats. So the front two seats are both heated and ventilated, and they are also massaging seats up here, which is very cool to have. They also have some nice bolstering that is adjustable both in the torso and for the thighs, and it also has a jutting out in the front of the seat. It has a nice leg rest. So there's actually a button you can press, and you can turn that completely out, which is nice. Inside of the door sill here, you also do get an illuminated M5 badge. There is a Harman Kardon audio system in here. I have listened to it. It sounds just off the charts great. Of course it does. It's a Harman Kardon system. Those are really, really nice audio systems to have in a vehicle. On these seats, you also do get an M5 badge, which is, once again, illuminated. If you were setting off to drive this car, one of the first things you'd notice as you grab the seatbelt over here is it actually has the M5 colors, the M colors of BMW, right stitched into the belt. All 4 belts have that, which is very nice to have. For the steering wheel right here, most of this interior looks pretty similar to what most BMWs have for a while now, but this steering wheel is especially aggressive. It is a very, very thick, meaty steering wheel. These bolsters are massive at 10 and 2, and it just looks great, really. It's a heated steering wheel, so that's very nice to have if you're in a cold climate, like I am. You also get your, up here, these two red buttons, thumb buttons, are M1 and M2 modes. So you can actually set those to be custom presets for all your drive modes. It does have some nice rear paddles back here. These are pretty large. They're plastic, but they feel very good to use. You do have your cruise control settings over here, and you also have your voice and audio system controls right over here. Next to your steering wheel controls, you do have your light settings over here, and that is surrounded by gloss black, which, although it collects dust, like in most cars, it looks really nice, so it fits the interior well. You do have a nice carbon fiber-esque design throughout here, and that does run through a good majority of the car and the dashboard. Most stuff in here is very well soft padded, as everything you touch in, you know, about $90,000, originally about $115,000 SUV, everything feels great in here to touch and use. For your gauge cluster here, you do have a fully digital gauge cluster, which allows for a lot of customization throughout here. So as you can see, there are many different modes you can access through here. So up on the left, you have efficient. So you have a button right there that you can press, and you can go through your different drive modes. Also, you have your suspension tuning, so you can drive once again in comfort, sport, or sport plus, the same as your drive modes. And also, you get a steering wheel feel button, once again with the same desirability options. And then you get a big speedo on your left, a big tack on your right with a nice M5 badge in there, and you also get your temp gauges on the far right and your gas gauge on the left. You also get that little square right there. That is actually a speed limit indicator. So this can use, I guess it would be navigation data. This does have navigation. So it would be able to show you your current speed limit on the road that you are on. That is very nice, especially with this being such a driver's car. For the rest of your interior in here, it is pretty similar to most BMWs. You do get a slide function, which I find interesting here. So these are your presets. You can also push them, but you can also slide them like this. It's a whole touch-sensitive row right there, so that's very nice if you're going through media and radio. You can just slide instead of having to seek around for a certain button. That's a nice little touch I have not seen before. You actually still retain a CD player in here, which is, you know, if they fit it in, that's awesome. It doesn't take up any space, and it still looks great, so that's pretty cool and unexpected, in my opinion. You do get about a 10-inch touchscreen in here, so you can use that like so. It is BMW's common iDrive system, or you can control it here with your typical rotary controller. You can use it like so. It has a nice tactile feedback. Also, it does have some button switches for all the main menus, so you don't always need to use it touchscreen or the controller, and it's also a touch-sensitive pad, so you can do writing, gesturing, and such on this little pad. You do get an electronic parking brake right near being accessible to the driver, which is always a good thing. You get your parking sensor buttons, and right there you get your exhaust button, so you can actually change that up a little bit. You also do get auto hold in here. As for your shifter, this is the 8-speed automatic, and it is, as usual, one of BMW's, in my opinion, funky shifters, but up top you see this little control. From there you push it forwards to go into reverse, and this is a very high quality rear camera, which I love. And the side mirrors, as you can see, actually self-adjust to go down to ground view, so you can actually see what's on your sides over that way. That's very cool to have. And here you can actually, you get a 360 type of view, and yeah, it's a very high resolution rear camera, very nice to have. Back into neutral, you go there, then you go into drive or sport by shifting it over towards the right. And then you can keep it in manual, like so, push it forwards, and then you could pick through your gears like that. And then you press a button for park. For your center armrest here, it is well finished in some nice leather. And to open that, you are gonna push a button in the center. It'll open like so. And you do get a 12-volt port and a USB Type A in here. And it's not the deepest storage bin, but it's adequate. It's pretty good. Keep a few phones or wallets in there. Also, if you open this, you can access your 2 cup holders, another 12-volt port, one more USB Type A port, and you also do get a wireless charging pad in there. You do get dual zone automatic climate control in here, and that is controllable there. You can see you have your own independent screen for those functions. For your stop start button in here, it looks awesome. It is finished in a bright red with a nice little chrome accent ring. And it does have an auto stop start hard button, which I love. You do not get a sunroof in here, but you do get the full carbon fiber roof, and that also includes a nice Alcantara lining. So all throughout here, all of the upper levels, you will get Alcantara lining. Let's check out the visors in here. So you do get your typical vanity mirror, and does it pass? No, it does not actually slide. Okay, that's a little surprising. I thought they would include that because there's a little bit of window left here. That's a small gripe with this car. This does have a head-up display in front of you, once again displaying that speed limit if you desire, and you can also change it to include just a tachometer, so that's a very nice feature to have. Also on the front door panel, you can see, maybe faintly, you can see some customizable lighting in here. So you have a nice line that runs right through there, and at night you can customize whichever colors you like to display in there. And let's check out the rear seats in this M5. Okay, so here in the rear, you do have, once again, that custom lighting strip, so that's nice. You have the seat belt with your M colors, and you have a very nice padding and stitching pattern along this whole door. You still have the Harman Kardon audio system in here, so that's also nice. In front of you, you do get a nice little storage bin on each side, a little storage pouch. You do get rear climate vents back here. These are also heated rear seats, and you do get 2 car charging ports back here. You also get a nice little storage cubby right there. And these climate vents are actually controllable. So this is your little temperature gauge. You can make it very cool or very warm. It is your choice. As for an armrest in here, you get a very interesting little pop out of 2 cup holders here. And the rest is very nicely padded in there. I am about 6 feet tall, with the driver's seat nearly as far back as it can go, and I have lots of room back here. My feet fit well under the seat. There's pretty good footwell room. And I have knee room. I am not bumping up against this. I am close, but I am not bumping up against the seat with my knees. So that's very nice to have. As for headroom, I still have probably 3 to 4 inches above me. I have lots and lots of headroom. And this side rear window here is actually massive, the second one, so it really doesn't feel claustrophobic or uncomfortable being here at all. And once again, you do get the whole suede headliner, the Alcantara headliner, excuse me. Yeah, looks nice. You have some LED dome lights in here. And finally, let's check out the cargo area of this M5. So, in this M5's cargo area, it is a power lift gate, so you can also open this with the key fob. It is very, very large in here and spacious, surprisingly so, for just a mid-size car. It has lots and lots of room, very wide and deep opening for entry, and it is really a nice place to store your things. Alright, and that'll just about do it for this review of a 2019 BMW M5 Competition. Thank you so much to BMW of Newport for allowing me to review this vehicle. Your link is down in the description below. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and have a good day. Take care.